One gripe that I had about Blade Runner 2049 is the one I don't have about the original Blade Runner. I felt like I was in a video game, and like for me it took it like I had to take a moment to realize that this was a product of the 80s. There's something mysterious and like lonely and interesting about all three of them. Hi, my name is Shri, and welcome to the review part of Blade Runner. If you want to watch the reaction part of Blade Runner, you can check it out on my main channel, Shri Nation. Link will be in the description box below. So I promised this review like a day after the reaction, but it is the holidays and my relatives are here, my little nephews are here, and with little kids running around, there is just no space for reaction. If I even try to whip out my camera, my nephews would start laughing at me in the background. And there you go. That would be the noise that you would hear throughout the video. So if you're here from my reaction side of Blade Runner, first of all, thank you. Your support, your extended support to my second channel means a lot. And you also know that I not only enjoyed Blade Runner as a movie, for me, it was a whole ass experience. I felt like I was in a video game. And like, for me, I had to take a moment to realize that this was a product of the 80s. Also, while watching the film, I kind of realized that I was almost like throughout my life, I was influenced by this kind of music, this kind of vibe, this feeling, like almost all my life, and I just didn't know what movie influenced it, what kind of like era or movies it came from. I'm of course talking about the retro synthwave vibe. What I mean by that is I love to play like retro synthwave music in the background whenever I write, and I feel like in a way the music I listen to has more influence in my writing than I actually give it credit for. I usually write scenes with like about the future, and I would love to write a science fiction someday. So like retrowave and synthwave almost plays exclusively in the background. I also love like the atmosphere of Blade Runner, like the vibe of this neon glowing futuristic city. And it's one of the reasons why I liked Cyberpunk 2077 and like the trailer of the video game Stray that just came out. So it's kind of insane to see like a movie that was like the father of this kind of look, this vibe that I've always been in love with. The film also has some like subtle political messages within its settings and story. By that I mean like it has this kind of capitalist techno dystopia that modern shows like Black Mirror touch upon. Almost everyone and everything is like a product or a puppet for big pharma, big humanoid, or big tech. There are like ads of women popping pills on every high-rise building, and like the people are just disconnected from each other, and even the goddamn animals are not real. It's the kind of world that we all fear that we are heading towards, and I feel like Blade Runner was ahead of the curve and predicted it. There's also like this weird juxtaposition between like the people's emotional capacity versus the replicants, where the replicants actually seem more curious about life, more risk-taking, and more friendly with each other than the humans, who are more like socially detached. They don't care about being polite. It's almost like the humans are more like indifferent about the value of life and seem robotic than the replicants. Deckard, Tyrell, even the captain of the police department, they all seem like recluses and just going about their lives, killing people. It's like the real people on this planet like dropped several IQ points after being surrounded by like so much tech and distractions. Also, last but not the least, the visual element of this movie was incredible. Like during my reaction of Blade Runner, I kind of blurted out that this must be CGI, but then my comment section corrected me that this was not CGI, but actually matte paintings, which is insane. The look of this film is a character on its own, and I'm gonna remember this movie for a long time simply because of its visual effects. One gripe that I had about Blade Runner 2049 is the one I don't have about the original Blade Runner. I feel like Blade Runner 2049 got a little lost about the world building and kind of like neglected its characters and their relationships with each other. Of course, both Blade Runner movies have this like hollowness to them, where like it's like a giant machine that's like running around without emotion or empathy. But Blade Runner had this kind of intrigue and mystery about its characters, like Deckard or Rachel or even Gaz. staff, whom I called Origami Guy throughout my reaction. There's something mysterious and like lonely and interesting about all three of them. And not only them, but also like everybody else. Like I would say their interactions with each other added to the film instead of taking away from it. I didn't feel the same way about Blade Runner 2049. I found the characters to be forgettable, the scenery memorable, which is why I think the 1982 Blade Runner is the superior one. I hope you enjoyed this review of Blade Runner. If you want to watch the reaction, you can head over to my main channel, Shri Nation, and you can also check out my Patreon for full movie reactions, and you can check out my social medias where where I talk about all things movies and books. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I didn't waste your time. See you next week.